What's up, you guys? Teddy Striker here, and this Saturday, the UFC is back in Kansas City for Ian Machado Garry versus Carlos Prates. And in this video, I'm going to give you guys my predictions for all the fights on the main card. And if you're interested, I'm going to make a community post where I'm going to be putting a prediction for every fight on the card. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. But let's get started. In the first fight on the main card, we got Ikram Aliskerov versus Andre Muniz. And I'm going to go with Ikram Aliskerov by a first-round KO. I think that he's got excellent grappling. We saw even Khamzat Chimaev couldn't take him down outside of the UFC in their fight. He has excellent, sambo skills, and I think he's got a lot of power too. He didn't look good against Robert Whittaker, but obviously Robert Whittaker is one of the best middleweights ever. So that's I'm not really looking at that too much. And Andre Muniz, outside of getting the fight to the ground, I don't really see a clear path to victory for him, and I don't think he'll be able to get any takedown or get the fight to the ground. But I think Ikram is going to get a finish in the first round. Moving on to Randy Brown versus Nicholas Dalby, and I'm going to go with Randy Brown. I think he can get this done by a decision. Nicholas Dalby is actually really good. He is 40, but he is a really good fighter. He's got great cardio, great fight IQ. He's really good, but I feel like Randy Brown, he's also really good. He's got good boxing skills. He's very tall. He's got the reach advantage, and I think he is going to be able to use that in this fight. I think it's going to be competitive, but ultimately, I am going to go with Randy Brown to get this done by decision. Moving on to Michel Pereira versus Abos Magomedov, and both these guys, they kind of fade in their fights. They're both really exciting at first, but then their gassing starts to run out. But I am going to go with Michel Pereira. I feel like Pereira has a lot of experience. He's really powerful in the middleweight division, and I feel like he can beat Abus Magomedov. I think he might get a stoppage here, maybe in round 3, a late stoppage when Abus is starting to really fatigue. I feel like he is going to gas out faster. I feel like with Michel Pereira, you got to really fatigue him by pushing the pace quite a bit, kind of like how Fluffy Hernandez was doing it, but he was getting hurt at times as well in that fight. So, I think I'm going to go with Michel Pereira by a 3rd-round stoppage. Then we got Giga Chikadze versus David Onama, and I'm going to go with David Onama. I just feel like Giga Chikadze is on the decline. I feel like he hasn't been quite the same since that Calvin Kattar fight where he really got beat up. Like Calvin Kattar did to Giga what Max Holloway did to him. It was an unbelievable beatdown. And I feel like Giga hasn't been able to get some momentum ever since. Like he had some canceled fights with Sadiq Youssef, and he fought once in 2023, once last year. He's not really been too busy. And I feel like Onama has some momentum. He's well-rounded, and I think he can get this done by decision. Then we got Anthony Smith versus Zhang Mingyang, and I'm going to go with Zhang Mingyang. I feel like he's very dangerous. He's very powerful. And he's young. He's, making his way up the ladder. This is Anthony Smith's last fight. I think this fight is going to end in the 2nd round by a KO from Zhang Mingyang. And, he's been on the roll. He hasn't lost a fight since, 2019. And this guy is, really young in his career. He made his debut when he was, 15 years old. I mean, this guy's a monster. But, I think he is going to get this done by a 2nd-round KO. Moving on to Ian Garry Machado versus Carlos Prates. I'm going to go with Carlos Prates by a 3rd-round knockout. I think that he is the far superior striker. Ian Garry, he came up as a striker, but I feel like his striking skills have digressed. He's been focusing a lot on his grappling, and his grappling has gone a lot better in the recent fights. He was able to nearly submit MVP and Shavkat Rakhmonov. So he does have a really good ground game, but on the feet, I just don't really think he's as good as he used to be. Even before, his old striking style, I feel like that would got him knocked out. And he's patient. He goes back. Everyone's able to push him backwards. Carlos Prates is not going to overextend and let Ian Garry counter him. He's going to stay properly balanced. He's going to threaten him with punches, kicks. He's also got some filthy counter striking. I mean, I feel like Carlos Prates has the best southpaw check right hook in the UFC. It's unbelievable. Like, he does really good job of getting his head off the center line and getting out the way of his opponent's strikes as he's throwing that right hook. He's also got great fight IQ and pattern recognition. Like, for example, if Garry goes to those low kicks, he's going to have to get out of punching range because Prates has a crazy long reach, and he's going to pick up on the fact that you don't get out of punching range after you throw a leg kick. Like, look at this here from the Li Jingliang fight. The Leech throws a leg kick, and notice how he doesn't move. He stays essentially right where he is. And then in this clip, the Leech throws a leg kick, stays right where he is, doesn't move. Prates centers back. Then the Leech hits him with a leg kick. He moves his head, but notice how his body is essentially in the same spot. And here's how Carlos Prates makes him pay for that. Here, Lee is going to go for another leg kick, but this time Prates catches him clean on the chin. And here, the Leech is going to pay even worse. Lands a kick, doesn't move, and gets dropped. So Garry does a good job of like sticking and moving, but if he starts to try to commit on some shots and if he wants to sit down on some of those leg kicks to slow down Carlos Prates, he is going to have to be aware of his defense. He's going to have to move his head, get his hands in the way or something. Just be defensively responsible after you throw those kicks. But I think Prates is a striking maestro, and he's going to knock Garry out in round 3.